Good morning and welcome to another edition of Rise and Shine Yoga. I'm Paul Barr, the owner of Oxford Yoga Studio in downtown Oxford. It's a beautiful summer morning on a Tuesday. Hope you had a good weekend. This weekend's Labor Day, so I guess that's the official end of summer and the beginning of fall. So if you have plans this weekend, hope you're safe and have a lot of fun. As we always do, I want you to get into a comfortable position on your mat. Your legs can be straight, your legs can be crossed. We bring our palms together at the center of our heart. We close our eyes. And before we begin any practice, we want to offer up our practice, dedicate our practice. And we do this because it's a good way to generate karma, and it's a good way to put out good thoughts into the world. Every time we put out a good thought or do a good deed, those kind of multiply. So this is just a good way to get some good thoughts out into the world. This intention, this dedication for your practice can be for anyone. It could be for someone who's struggling mentally, physically, emotionally, a family member, coworker, someone that you used to be on good terms with, but now you're not. It could also be for the world. It also could be for yourself. If we don't take care of ourselves, it's really, really hard to take care of other people. Once your intention is made, we're just going to bow our chin toward our chest, sealing in that intention, knowing that we can come back to it at any time during our practice. If our mind, body, breath isn't cooperating or doing what we think it should, just come back to that intention. Let's continue with the practice. We want to get right into that yoga breath, a deep inhale through the nose. And then we exhale through the nose. As we exhale through the nose, we constrict the back of the throat so we make a fogging of the mirror sound. And then as we exhale, our breath, this yoga breath, should be very controlled and slow. We're not rushing the breath. We're not panting. Everything we do in yoga is very controlled. So if you find that your breath kind of wanders or gets out of control, just kind of come back, slow it down a bit, and we'll get you right back into the rhythm. So continuing, starting with our warm-up, bring your right hand behind your right hip, your left hand onto your right knee. We're just going to gently sit up tall and twist to the right. Your right hand behind your hip is on the fingertips, so we're just using it as balance. And gently come back to center. This time take your left hand behind your left hip, right hand onto the left knee, and just going to gently twist to the left. Our left hand is on the fingertips. And come back to center. For those of you that are new to Rise and Shine Yoga, we always do both sides of our body in all these yoga poses. And you may notice as we do the poses that one side's a little bit different than the other. And that's just the way we're made. And what we do by working both sides is we try to get them healthier and stronger, more flexible. So you may notice a difference in one side or the other. That's completely normal. So now we're just going to come into a kneeling position on our mat. If you have a blanket, you can place it on the middle of your mat, under your knees. If you don't, that's fine. Come to a kneeling position. We're going to place the top of our feet, press them into your mat. And we're just going to sit back on our heels, stretching out the top of our ankles, top of our feet. This may feel a little uncomfortable because we don't really stretch our feet or our toes very often, even though we use our feet or are on our feet a lot. And very gently come back up to kneeling. This time, get on your tippy toes. You can bring your feet close together. And you can just sit back on your heels. We're stretching out our toes underneath our foot. And again, this may feel a little uncomfortable, but the more you do it, it will get a little more comfortable. We're just untangling the muscles and the toes. And then very slowly come back up to kneeling. This time still kneeling on your left knee. Bring your right foot out into a lunge. Take our hands, bring them on top of our thigh. We're just going to press our thigh forward. Top of our left foot's pressed into the mat behind us. A couple options. You can stay here, or you can bring your hands on the inside of your foot, right foot. Or if you want to get a little bit deeper into the pose, you can come all the way down to the forearms. But I'll leave that up to how your body's feeling this morning. And gently come back up. We'll just switch positions. So kneel on the right knee. Bring your left foot out into the lunge. Hands on top of the left thigh. You can press forward. Top of the right foot pressed into the mat. And then again, some other options. You can bring your hands on the inside of your foot, left foot, or you can come all the way down to your forearms. And again, I'll just leave that up to you. And gently come back up to kneeling. From here, we'll come into tabletop, hands and knees pose. And then bring the big toes of your feet together. We're going to sit back on our heels, extend our arms forward for our first child's pose of the morning.
Hello, I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And together, Dave and I host a program called Minutes by Minute. We discuss what local Oxford and Addison politicians and appointed representatives are doing to make your life happy or miserable by passing laws, ordinances, and regulations that affect you.
We believe that within those political decisions is humor. You just have to hunt for it. For example, did you know there's a local ordinance that allows people to shoot off fireworks 24 hours a day, 365 days a year? But since they can do it, nobody wants to do it.
Catch us Monday through Friday on Charter 191 and ATT Uverse 99, scheduled for 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and 10:30 p.m., or go to our webpage, occtv.org, and click on Programs. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny. Each week, catch us on Minutes by Minute.
Don't miss it.
And welcome back to our next segment of Rise and Shine Yoga. Let's roll forward in the tabletop, hands and knees pose. If your knees are cranky, you can put a blanket underneath your knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to do thread the needle. So we're going to inhale and very slowly bring our right arm up to the sky. Then take our right arm, slide it gently underneath the left. As we twist over to the left, your face may come to the mat. If you want, you can keep your left hand on the mat. Or if you want more of a twist, you just bring it on to the lower back, which brings you into a deeper twist. And gently bring your left hand to the mat. Slowly unwind the right arm from behind the left. And bring it up to the sky. And then bring your hand down to the middle of the mat, or onto the mat. And then we'll do the other side, starting with a flat back. Inhale the left arm up to the sky, and then take the left arm, slide it underneath the right, as we twist over to the right. Face may come to the mat. And again, you can keep your right hand on the mat, or for more of a twist, you can bring it onto your lower back. Gently bring your right hand to the mat. You're going to slowly unwind the left arm from behind the right. Bring it up to the sky. Place it back onto the mat and come back into child's pose. Then very slowly come back up to the tabletop, and then come back to a seated position. This time we're just going to stretch out the chest and the shoulders. So from a seated position, I want you to bend your knees, place your feet onto the mat. Take your hands, bring them by your hips, and have your fingertips point to the front of the mat. We're just going to sit up nice and tall, and I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together. We're just stretching out this front part of our chest and shoulders. And then release. Come back in the seated. I want you to roll forward or come into tabletop. And from tabletop, I want you to bring both feet into the middle of the mat between your hands. Let your head drop. Put a big bend in your knees. If you want, you can grab opposing elbows. And then release very slowly. Come all the way up to standing. Bring your arms up to the sky. And exhale, palms together, center of the heart. Now I want you to inhale your arms up to the sky. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist. We're just going to lean over to the right, pushing our hips to the left as we stretch out left side of our stomach or abdomen. And slowly come back up to center. Take your left hand, grab your right wrist, and we'll just do the other side. So you're going to lean over to your left, press your hips to the right. We're stretching out the right side of our abs or oblique area. And gently come up to center. Release your hands and bring the palms together, the center of the heart. Bring your palms together. We're going to inhale the arms up to the sky. This time I want you to step your left foot back. Bring your right knee into a lunge for warrior one. Arms are nice and strong. I want you to think of that your feet are really pressed into the mat and they're almost like they're going to tear the mat apart. That's how strong I want your base to be. I want to make sure our knee is over our ankle, not over our toes. Another option, if you wanted to, is you can get off your back foot and just get on your tippy toes. So your left foot should be on its toes. Just another option. And then bring your left foot down, keeping your arms where they are. Step your left foot to the front of the mat, and then we're going to step our right foot back, put a lunge in the left knee. Nice and strong, everything is strong. Then if you want, you can come onto your tippy toes of your right foot. Now step your right foot to the front of the mat and very slowly bring your palms together. The center of the heart. And then we're just going to come down to a Buddha squat. Palms together. Your heels, if they don't touch the mat, will touch the mat eventually. This ends our second segment of Rise and Shine Yoga. Take a quick break, get a drink of water. We'll come back with our closing seated poses and closing meditation.
Canine Stray Rescue is Oxford's own local dog rescue. Each year they take in hundreds of dogs and bring them into suitable homes. A certified nonprofit organization, Canine Dog Rescue strives to give pound dogs a new leash on life. To donate, adopt, or even volunteer, call them at 248-628-0435 or go to their website, dogsaver.org, and click on the Canine Stray Rescue League link.
Welcome back to our final segment of Rise and Shine Yoga, our seated poses, closing meditation. So I want you to extend your legs straight for our Dandasana pose or staff pose. Bring your hands on the outside of your hips, fingers pointed to the front of the mat. Sit up nice and tall, toes pulled back to you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Make sure the top of the legs are engaged, core is engaged. And release. This time I want you to bend your knees, place the bottom of your feet on the mat. We're going to place our hands behind our hips. We're just going to do what's called table pose. So on our inhale, we're just going to lift up our hips and come into what looks like a table, making sure our hips aren't sagging. That puts too much pressure on the back, so try to keep them up. You should feel a nice stretch in the shoulders. And very gently come all the way down. Extend your legs straight. Keeping your left leg straight, inhale your right knee up. Bring your right hand behind your right hip. Inhale your left arm up to the sky. Then we're going to twist to the right, and then take our left hand, bring it on the outside of the right knee, bring it into the chest as we gently twist over to the right. And gently come back to center. Little counter twist to the left. And extend the right leg straight. This time inhale the left knee up. Bring the left hand behind the left hip. And we're going to inhale the right arm up to the sky. Twist first to the left, then bring our right hand on the outside of the left knee as we twist over to the left. And again, we're sitting up nice and tall. Our right toes are pointed to the sky. Back to center, a little counter twist over to the right. And come back to center, extend both legs. This time bend both knees, place the soles of the feet on the mat. We're going to do boat pose. So we're going to take our hands behind our legs, sit up nice and tall, and just keep everything engaged. And then if you want, you can just lift your bent legs up. And again, we're sitting up nice and tall. We're not leaning way back. We're just balancing, so we're using our core. If you're shaking, that's fine. That means your muscles are working. So. And gently bring your feet onto the mat. Then make your way to lie on your back. Keeping the knees bent, I want you to bring your knees up out to the side. Take your hands, see if you can grab the outside of your feet for happy baby pose. And then try to think of pressing your knees to the ground. This is good for the groin area. You can also rock side to side if you'd like, massaging the back. And then gently release, extend both legs onto the mat. Keeping your left leg straight, bend your right knee, bring it into the chest, or you can pull it into the armpit. And gently release your right leg straight, and then bend the left knee, bring that into the chest or the armpit. Really squeeze it in. And then bring both knees into the chest. Squeeze them in, maybe rock side to side. And then bring your arms out to a T. Let the knees drop gently over to the right. And if you want, you can lift your head. Take the gaze over the left shoulder. Ending with a spinal twist. If our muscles are all loose. If you want to get deeper into the twist, just bring your knees closer to your shoulders or your chest. And bring your knees back to center, gaze back to center. Let the knees drop over to the left. Maybe take your gaze over the right shoulder. Then bring the knees and gaze back to center. Bring the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. And then make your way up to a seated position, the front of your mat. Sit up nice and tall. palms together at the center of your heart. Close your eyes and bow your chin to chest. Coming back to that intention. The light in me bows, shines, reflects the loving, healing energy that is within your heart. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week. And we end with Namaste.
At Oakland County Parks and Recreation, we value what you value: family relationships, community connections, good health, environmental stewardship, and economic stability. Oakland County residents and businesses have invested in preserving nearly 7,000 acres of parkland. Since 1966, 13 parks and golf courses have been acquired, maintained, and improved. Oakland County parks and facilities are made possible by millage funds supported by Oakland County residents. For a home valued at $200,000, the homeowner pays less than $25 per year to support the Oakland County parks. With every generation, families create lifelong memories at Oakland County's award-winning parks. From exciting summer escapades and stories around the campfire to brisk fall walks on wooded trails and snowy winter outings, the outdoors beckons year-round. It's time to get up, get out, and get going at the Oakland County parks. Active recreation options abound. Cross-country ski or mountain bike on tree-lined trails. Scale the rock climbing wall. Get your kicks with soccer at several sports fields. Row or paddle a boat on 4 picturesque inland lakes. It's an easy journey. Most parks are just a short drive away. A quick tip: all our parks and golf courses end in Oaks. To find your favorite, just go to destinationoakland.com. Click to pick Oceans of Motion water parks at Red Oaks and Waterford Oaks, the Wint Nature Center at Independence Oaks, Teen Adventures, and even entertainment to go. When outdoor adventures on your list, there's fishing, beaches, boating, playgrounds, and seasonal hunting. The campgrounds at Addison Oaks and Groveland Oaks feel like being up north with plenty of recreation options. Want to get fit? Hit the trails. Oakland County Parks boasts more than 68 miles for strolling, walking, hiking and running, biking, or horseback riding. If the links are your lure, 5 golf courses, including Premier Course Lion Oaks, are conveniently located. Make Glen Oaks or White Lake Oaks your home course. Get an up-north feel at Springfield Oaks, or play a quick 9 at Red Oaks. Our recreation lineup rocks. Learn to swim. Experience an outdoor adventures camp. Take the fast track at BMX, or gain new lifelong skills. Everyone's included. Individuals with disabilities participate in dozens of adaptive opportunities, including a new fully accessible playscape, modified golf carts, and annual events.